wakes up. There you go. So we're going to pick up where we left off with MTX Farms. Well, MTX Farm singular. Hey, Trio, how's it going? But yeah, so we're going to be checking this out. We're picking up and continuing where we left off with the Tileman challenge. For those who missed what the Tileman challenge is, you're going to notice kind of this grid all over the world. And what that grid is I cannot walk on any of the tiles that I have not purchased. The current price for opening up one tile, one single segment of the grid, is up to 1,000 now. It does gradually go up as we buy more and more. And so we're doing our best to make this all work in a good way. Alright. But our current stuff is we did finally reach Pierre's, as you can tell from the fact we're actually getting crops going. And the plan we've had so far is I want to just keep making money as we can for now. And then the intent is going to be that I'm working on this last row here on the left. And when it's at the same height as these other rows, we're going to stop buying tiles over here. And instead we're going to start working our way across town to reach Clint. And that's because we're going to very soon hit kind of a scaling problem, where because I'm stuck watering manually and I cannot upgrade my watering can nor make a sprinkler until we reach Clint. On a practical effect, technically I can make sprinklers if I can get the ore, but getting the ore without access to the mine or Clint is not going to be, you know, really feasible. There's not like a bunch of rocks I can hit each day to maybe RNG get the ore. So we need to get to Clint, because then I'm going to be able to buy the ore. And that's going to be our primary way of doing that. Because once we get that set up, we're going to start going after trying to set up sprinklers and all that. Because I'm going to need that to consider to scale up the farm. Now, the pro and the con is we will be good until about 1,000 tiles. At 1,000 tiles, my price goes up another magnitude. And if you're, like, noticing the numbers, that means my tiles after 1,000 begin to start to cost 10,000. Needless to say, I need to be bankrolling by then. Which actually, 10,000 sounds really rough, but you can very easily in Stardew Valley, once you get things established, you can pull in $10,000s of dollars every single day. It just takes a bit of setup. Alright. But we are just going to keep wanting to buy more and more tiles. As far as, like, going for the endings and all that, I think realistically our goal would be Joja. Just from a simple pragmatism. I don't see a reasonable way I could get the community center done in this run without spending, like, 10 years just bankrolling to unlock enough of the map to get to everything. Because needing to, like, be able to hit the hidden forest, for example, for the hardwood, and then there's a fish you can catch there, and then have to get all the way to the desert to catch the fish you catch there, having to get to the place in the mines where there's the one lava fish to get there. Just the golden walnuts would be an absolute exercise in frustration. Alright, so let's sell our hot peppers. We made about 6,000 around from the hot peppers from what I was seeing. But yeah, so you'll notice this grid everywhere, so like I can't walk through this spot. If I pull up my little wand thing, it tells me it's 1,000 gold to get that square. So we're very strategic on which tiles we buy. So if you notice there's like a weird zigzag I'm doing all around, we're trying to minimize the number of tiles I'm purchasing to make sure I'm able to reach everything. Okay. Yeah, so, well, about 5,000. Okay, we'll grab some of those, and that gives me enough for 3 tiles. Holy crap, Elliot. Okay, new plan. If we talk to Elliot, I get a free tile. Because I haven't had my introduction to Elliot yet. Yeah, we've already talked to all of them. But we do get free tiles from getting introductions to everyone. And it's not the introduction so far as the quest tracking thing. It's introductions like I have to talk to them outside of a festival. And Elliot is kind of a shut-in and I can't get to the beach. So we are literally going to stalk right outside the hospital for Elliot to leave. Because as far as I'm concerned, that's 1,000 gold I get for having a conversation with Elliot. Because that's the cost of a tile right now. And I don't get this opportunity very often. Now, I imagine the exam is probably like an in-game hour or two, which is 1 or 2 minutes. I'm having a great day, yeah. Hope yours is going well as well. Yeah, for what we got going on today, we're doing Stardew Valley for probably a little bit here. And then what we're going to end up doing is we'll put away Stardew Valley. We'll be checking out the playtest for Spacecraft after the... Okay, from what I thought, she's going to come to the hospital as well. The moment we're done... Sorry, we'll do, like, the couple of hours of Spacecraft, and then, like, depending on how that's going, we'll either go back to Stardew Valley or continue doing that. My intention is that tomorrow we'll do more Stardew Valley. We'll probably be doing Stardew Valley so far as this challenge up until the release of 1.7. Then we'll do 1.7. So we're going to be a little heavy on the Stardew Valley for a little while, which I'm sure a lot of people won't mind. I'm sure there's some that people are just like, yeah, but this isn't my jam, and that's fair. But, you know, it's a major release. It's a beloved game. There's going to be quite a bit of that. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Alright, how long is your physical, Elliot? Everything okay there, buddy? Because I don't know about you, but when I go for a physical, it's not like a 4-hour endeavor. Because it's not like you're waiting in line. There's all of like 12 people in this town. It's like 20 people, like 24 or something like that. And there's only 3 of them in there, and 2 of them are the doctors. Holy crap, Elliot, leave. It's still worth my time to do this, I'd just rather be getting more things done today. Harvey, are you like a really bad doctor? I mean, either that or you're just really thorough. Come on, we saw Elliot go in there. If Elliot went in, Elliot's gotta come out. Alright, well the doctor closes any time now. We didn't miss him, because they're physically blocking the door. There you go. I've encountered some beautiful shells in front of my house. Good for you. Thank you for the bonus tile, Elliot. Just you're in the doctor, you see like this person like tail you to the door and just stand there glaring in the window the whole time. Good thing about this series, sorry, voice crack, that it's a decent time and not really miss much. Nice. Alright, so we're going down this path. So that's how far down we've gone. So 1, 2... 3. And 4. Okay, so our future tiles now are going to be 100% going towards, yeah, the future tiles are going to be going towards reaching Clint now. Alright, so I'm not actually going to be able to plant these today. Because I'm having to clear, like, multiple full trees. Put a tree here. Tree there. A tree there. We'll sell the moss. Alright. Yeah, so we're gonna have to go through that whole area and, clear out all the bushes and trees and all that kind of garbage. Dear old Storge, tomorrow we're all gathering at the beach for an annual pelican luau. The highlight of the event is the communal potluck. Make sure to bring something good to contribute. The governor himself will be attending the event, so make sure you're on your best behavior. Come to the beach sometime between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. Mayor Lewis. I will not be able to attend, Mayor Lewis. You are busy holding me prisoner on my own farm. Sell it that way because I'm not going to be able to get any of this done over here. Alright, start watering. Also need to trim that back before it damages my crops. Okay. We'll also get some bonus tiles here when we gain... I think I've got 1, maybe 2 more levels left, and then we've maxed out farming. Oh boy, do we need a sprinkler pad? Yeah, that's why we need to make our move to Clint. That's kind of what we did, is I was pushing towards having it where we'd be around 70% stamina after a full day of working the field. Alright, we would have used about 70% stamina working the field, not that we'd have that much left. So get down to like 20-25%. And I was like, that's going to be my cutoff before we... before we go and we make the move to Clint. Because the problem is, going to Clint is going to be exceptionally expensive. But, until we do that, we can't upgrade anything, we can't get our sprinklers. Because they just won't have access to ore on any meaningful capacity. But all things considered, while this is a bit laborious on my side, it is only taking about 1, 2, maybe 3 minutes per day to do this. It's really not that long time-wise, because when you consider the entire day in Stardew Valley, I can't remember the time, it's like 15-20 minutes. And we're only going from like 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. That means we're only hitting a fraction of the day length. But yeah, no, it is a thing that will very quickly get tedious, watering every single crop tile by tile. Okay. Alright, so we just water those last few. Then that's done. Now we'll just do a lap around the periphery to make sure we don't have any grass growing in at the fringes. Okay. We've already cleaned up that edge. And this is because if we don't do this, we can run to the situation where we've got grass coming in from the edges there, and they could damage my crops. I still need 9 more plant fiber for a scarecrow, so we are losing a crop every couple of days to a crow. It's like every 4-ish days, I end up having a crow destroy one of my crops, which is just kind of a cost of us doing this. We're definitely making way more than that's costing me, because if a plant costs me like $100 to plant, and then we're getting like, you know, 2.5 out of that. Yeah, so there's this week's sacrifice. Okay. And drop all these off for a little extra money. And then in a sense, we're also not buying since we're also not buying a bunch of stuff at the store seed-wise, we're just going to be replacing the seeds as we use them. We should have a lot of money going through, because we won't be scaling up the farm until we reach Clint. You also hate that the crows keep messing with our crop timing? The OCD so it bothers you sometimes. Yeah, there's a certain amount that's going to happen, whether it's your crops get struck by lightning, or the crows get to them, or you accidentally miss watering just one of them. Like, later on, when you've got, like, the sprinklers and the scarecrows and the lightning rods and all that unlocked, you can keep it nice and clean. But especially with the situation we're in, we just kind of have to accept there's going to be a certain amount of cursed. Alright. And once we reach Clint, the goal is going to be primarily expand the farm west. That way eventually I can get access to the Mushroom Cave, just as a thing to supplement our income a little bit more. I don't have a crop here. Must have gotten taken out by a crow or something at some point. I missed it. What's our skill level at? Yes, we're at 8 farming. Because pretty soon we're probably going to hit 9 farming. I'd imagine like the next big harvest will certainly get us across that finish line. New mod, shotgun for crows. I don't even think that's a new mod. I'm willing to bet that just exists. Probably it's just a thing where they just have your character have an animation of shooting a gun. And you just hear like a squawk, and it puts like a couple little feathers like where the crow was. The Stardew Valley certainly has no shortage of mods, and some of them do get rather unhinged. I see you trying to grow in. You're good there. Alright. Alright, note to self, let's be careful about that. I just destroyed one of the acorns I planted, but... Alright. So you can go to bed real quick, keep this going. And another $1,000 towards the Get to Clint fund. Okay, so this should be, like I said, I expect we'll probably level up today on our farming. And in addition to that, we'll probably also be able to get a couple new tiles in the next day. Alright. We'll bring those to town to sell, with the plan of, like, pushing as far as we can towards Clint. It's not going to be that many, like 7-8 tiles, but that's kind of just how it works. Because once we get to Clint, we get lots of options. One, I could just upgrade the watering can if nothing else. More realistically, I'm probably going to want to... I'm probably going to want to go about trying to get the sprinklers. The challenge with the sprinklers is going to be the refined quartz. Usually your primary source of refined quartz is trash. You can get it through the mine as well by finding actual quartz. But it tends to be finding trash and then using the recycling machine to turn the trash into refined quartz. But the problem is, getting trash on any reasonable frequency is very difficult without having fishing, which would be getting to the beach. And I do think Clint's the higher priority, because at least with Clint, I could go through and upgrade the rain pail to make our lives easier. I'd much rather get the sprinklers, but I don't have a good source of refined quartz that I could think of until we either A, reach the mine and get a route for it, which I doubt that's going to be reasonable, or B, we manage to reach the beach. I don't even have to go far on the beach. If we get just one step onto the beach, that's enough to trigger the cinematic that gets me the fishing pole. And somewhat amusingly, I'm not going to sit here and farm money using fishing. It is a very, very effective strategy. I just don't want to. Some stuff really went down since last night. Oh, the size of the farm blowing up? Yeah, that's what the comment I was making was that, while we were stuck only able to grab clay for money, getting money was very difficult. But the moment we got access to Pierre's, that gave us reliable money where, like, every 4 days we're getting a massive payout. So it's pretty much we got to Pierre's. Once we were able to get into Pierre's, that let us get, like, almost an extra, like, 10 tiles between all the different villagers we could catch walking in and out of the place. And then, like I said, it's just one of those things that as we're growing our crops here, It's just every 4 or 5 days we end up getting 5,000-6,000 gold. Alright, so let's go do our drop off all the peppers we've got growing here. And we are going to see real quick if we can get ourselves some good, meaningful progress towards Clint's. Because we're not going to be able to really scale up much more than we already have until I can get to Clint. Let's go to you. So casual $6,000, which means I get a total of 6 tiles. Alright. So I think we go forward to the right and then down 2. That way when I go to the community center, I've got a good route there. I should go 2 more to the right and then down so I can... We'll see if I can't reach the trash can from 2 tiles away. Alright. Because the trash can gives me a source of a couple different things. And like one of the things we can do is we can get lucky with the trash can, get garbage and all that out of that broken CDs, which I can make into refined quartz for making sprinklers. I can also get like random fish and all that, that could be helpful. Oops, Poppy's Day. Okay, we leveled up our fishing, or leveled up our farming. Okay, those all still have another day for them. So grab you. I got some poppies and peppers to sell. And I need at least 6 more seeds. How did Arc Raiders go last night? Oh, I'm not sure if you read the chat. I actually spent multiple hours getting it to run. I did get it there. I ran into a problem where it requires you to have, oh, I forget what it's called. It's a memory integrity thing. It's a thing it's for anti-cheat to prevent people from being able to inject into memory, but you had to have that security setting turned on. Well, I went to turn on the security setting, and it wasn't showing up. I'm like, why is this not showing up? It goes, okay, well, it's not showing up because you have something installed that is not compatible with it. It's like, okay. So, Easy Anti-Cheat, or whatever it's called, couldn't run because it didn't have the memory integrity thing set up. And the memory integrity thing wouldn't allow me to turn it on because there was incompatible software installed, which was Easy Anti-Cheat. And so I had to kind of go through this whole loop of like undoing and redoing the thing so I could turn it on and then reinstall the reinstall stuff. I got it working in the end, and I did manage to play through like the tutorial, like where they just drop you in and explain what the game is. But that's about all I got to play. It was the whole like circular dependency thing of, well, you need the memory integrity thing turned on so that Easy Anti-Cheat can work. And Easy Anti-Cheat wouldn't let me turn it on. That I had to work around. Alright, so there's Pierre. Let's go ahead and sell our poppies and all that. But I did enjoy what I did get to play. Yeah, you remember you chatting about that. Was curious if you were able to get a round or two in. Yeah, no, it's all good. It happens. But, let's grab, like... There. Because then that gives me enough money for at least one more tile. But yeah, no, I at least got to do, like, the scenario thing. And I probably would have stayed up later and done, like, an actual round. But I got, like, a sponsorship later on stream. I was like, alright, today's not the day to do that. Okay, so we got ourselves another tile today with our little teeny tiny sale of a couple of poppies. We do have another round of poppies here that we're going to go ahead and plant. But we're making good progress of, like, a good 6, 7, 8 tiles every 4 to 5 days, so progress is progress. Yeah, I mean, that wasn't my big sale. That was just a little pocket right here. We are getting around 7-8 tiles per time. But I did enjoy what I played. And I admittedly spent a pretty good amount of time on the stuff between screens, like checking out like the skill tree and seeing what all was there, checking out the cosmetics and seeing what all was there, like all that kind of stuff, you know. I found there was like these pack things that I guess you go, I would like to do this, and then they give you mission objectives to do to unlock more cosmetics. So I like opted into doing the thing where I can unlock stuff. I just didn't do an actual mission. Alright, cool. So we are now at farming level 9, where we'll be able to make the iridium sprinklers and the seed maker. That does bring up the question of... Okay, so you require a battery pack. I don't remember what you need to get the lightning rod. But this could be one of those cases where just gunning right for the big one would probably be easier, because I can't get refined quartz really easily without having to get all the way to fishing. But the battery pack, if I can remember what unlocks that, and I'm pretty sure it's a skill kind of thing. But if we can unlock the battery pack, then I can turn around and use the battery pack to slowly make batteries and just go straight up for the best sprinklers. And that wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea. I'm already going to be pouring money into Clint to buy my ore. And while, don't get me wrong, the iridium bars will cost us a small fortune. At the same time, it's kind of going to be true no matter what I do. So basically I got a full rain pail. We just did the cleanup to make sure the grass isn't coming in. Lightning rods require bat wings, though. Does it really? Well, rip. Because that would mean going to the mine. Which we'll want to do eventually, but that's another one of those things that, you know, we just gotta mortgage the house. Okay. There will also be a point where we're going to want to go out of our way to reach the book sales lady. Because some of those books are immensely powerful. But it is considering it's going to cost me tens of thousands of gold to reach her. And that's not including the book purchases on the other side. Luckily, this is a game that making money is just really not that bad. Like, early game, it can be a little rough. But once you get the ball rolling, you can get some pretty ridiculous money going. So we start getting sprinklers going and all that. What we could start doing is moving into stuff that's like better overall cash. Because we're going to need to. But having the thing for, like, duplicating seeds gives us opportunity as well, that some seeds are really hard to come by, like the ancient fruit and all that. And that's historically been one of the metas in the game, is just to get a bunch of ancient fruit, get your stuff for making wine, and just start mass-producing ancient fruit wine. That's going to be a little difficult for us to set up for a whole mess of reasons. Getting the ore, getting the materials, and all that's going to be one part. As you can see, we are using every tile we can get our hands on right now. Like, even our pathway in and out of our farm is being used as farmland, because that's still an extra probably several hundred to thousand a season in cash. Which means a handful of extra tiles, so we're definitely not going to waste that opportunity. Alright, let's run over here to Pierre's again. Sell our hot peppers and all that, and see if we can't get another tile. I wonder if we can just straight up buy that. I'm trying to remember. Did they eventually add the computer in this as well? I don't know what to do with myself. Now I'm back. I'm used to having more structure in my day. Alright, I hadn't realized I hadn't talked to you, but okay, thank you for the free tile. Alright, so that means I'm gonna get 2 tiles today, one for talking to Kent. And the other for the cash. So there's the freebie tile. There's the one we paid for. That was a tile waste, actually. I forgot. This game does have an undo button for the buying of the tiles. The reason I said that was a waste is because then it would want to zigzag like this. And that's 1 tile in, 1 tile out. If it goes straight down, just buy the extra tile there. If I need to reach the trash can, I'm saving a tile. Have we talked to Pam outside of... Not yet. We haven't talked to Pam, I believe, outside of a festival. But when we get near the tavern, I'll be able to intercept her and Shane on their way to the tavern. And Clint, for that matter. Those are 3 we haven't talked to yet outside of festivals. But when we get near the bar, all 3 of them are regulars to the bar, so that'll give me an opportunity to catch them. We have talked to Emily and Haley and Abigail and the whole bunch of the others. Really, if we're looking at the cast, who haven't I caught? I haven't caught Linus, Jess, Willie, Alex, Penny, Vincent, Pam, Demetrius, Clint, Shane, and Sebastian. I've caught everyone else to talk to so far. And I think what I'm going to do timing-wise for when we go to switch to the sponsored segment is I think I'm going to time that for, like, where I go on my, where I go on my break. Let me check one thing really fast. Alright, yeah, that's fine. What I'll probably actually do is I'll probably do, like... Dear Farmer Rual Storge, I'd like to give my wife a star fruit for our anniversary. Are you growing any on your farm? If you brought me one, I'd be very grateful. I was going to say I was going to wait till the break. I think what I'm going to actually do is we'll finish out this in-game day. We'll do the switch over. And then, like I said, we'll end up getting back to this either later on the stream or tomorrow. Like, we're definitely, for like the next week, this is going to be what we're going to be doing a lot of. But just getting to the sponsored segment. And there's reasons for that. But I'm going to want to go ahead and do that flip here, not super long. Normally I'd like to wait till after Tomb gets home, but just trying to make sure I'm managing things how I should be. Oh, and I don't want to see that blinking, so there's a star fruit. You're not going to get one of those, don't worry about it, buddy. Okay, so it's payday. Yeah, we'll be checking out the spacecraft demo. Playtest, whatever they want to call it. I wouldn't say, like... Calling it, like, drummed down No Man's Sky doesn't seem fair. I think when you're looking at it from, like, the breadth of features, obviously No Man's Sky is going to have a lead because No Man's Sky, you know, has been around for, what is it, like, almost 10 years now? Not quite. It's not been 10 years, but it's been a while. It's been a long time that No Man's Sky has been updating constantly. And No Man's Sky is an extreme outlier in its dev cycle and what it's done. But also, No Man's Sky takes a far more kind of arcadey, non-realistic, just not silly. I don't want to make it sound bad, but it's far more just kind of like not as grounded approach to like the whole sci-fi thing and spaceships and all that. And as none of that's seen as like a negative. It's just the theming around it. You know, it's like comparing a game like Animal Crossing against Stardew Valley, where Animal Crossing, everything's like kind of silly. It's got a bunch of these weird animal things, you know, and all that. Where Stardew Valley, like, sure, there's the Junos and there's the wizard, you know, and there's a witch, and there's these like little bits of, you know, kind of fantasy, mysticism kind of things. But broadly speaking, the game is just very, very grounded. Like, you're gonna go out, you're gonna, you know, hoe the dirt and all that, ride the bus, that kind of thing. It just got little tastes of magic and all that. So it definitely is taking a far more, like, this is an actual sci-fi or sci-fantasy approach to thing, where I would argue No Man's Sky goes very heavily into, like, the science fantasy end of things. Like, we don't have spells and all that we cast, but there's a lot of silliness in it too. And again, none of that is a bad thing. Like, I play tons of No Man's Sky. But I wouldn't call exactly No Man's Sky a particularly, scientifically realistic game. That's not its focus. So, yeah. Now, that said, this was also going to be a playtest / demo, so it's going to be far more limited of what it's actually got in the game versus what it will release with. But still, like I said, I kind of checked it out a little bit to make sure it ran and all that before stream. And I was liking what I was seeing and all that. But it'll be curious to see where it goes. It's interesting to see how they mine from their ship and spacecraft. So like you said, you look forward to seeing more of it? Yeah. I mean, you'd use lasers. Like, I know that much because it's like the very first thing you do in that. You really liked War Tales, so hoping for the best? Oh, is War Tales another game that they released or something? I haven't kept with the publisher's other titles. Alright. And that'd be another 6 tiles. Yeah, same devs as War Tales? Gotcha. Good to know. So... 1, 2... Can I reach you? No, I will pay the extra 1,000 to get the trash can. 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and while we're here, buy a stack of more poppy seeds. Yeah, because you take 7 days and we still have enough time left in the month. Just gonna spend all the money on that. Now we'll need to be careful after these ones, because I got 6 days, or well, 5 days left, that I can plant the poppy seeds. Oh hey, there was a worm spot here. If we get lucky, we get a book. That wasn't what I was expecting. Those grow fast. I mean, they actually grow at K speed. They're free seeds. I'm suddenly wondering. I have enough wood. Alright. So what we could do for now is while we wait for the plant fiber, I now have a box. We've moved up in the world. And the reason I have these 2 tiles is that's where the parsnip seeds are when you start, is right there, so I had to go that far to get our initial parsnip seeds. Okay. So, with that, I know we've only been doing this for like a little bit over half an hour. Well, it's been almost an hour, actually. Just a bit shy of that. We are going to do the switch over to the sponsored segment, and most likely we're going to get back to Stardew Valley after that. This isn't meant to be like a bait and switch or anything kind of thing. It's a very normal thing for sponsors to request that you play something that is your normal content for like half an hour, whatever, before you switch to the game. Especially if you're like a one game channel. It's just a thing they need to kind of make that have anything. So what's going to happen is over on the YouTube side, the stream will be dropping and coming back up over to our sponsored segment, so you're going to lose you for a minute. But over here, I know it's like we're just getting a couple days in. We've already actually got 3 days in, but we're going to go and do that flip over real fast.